Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning, we're chatting with Miss Desiree Hackett-Murray, and she is a financial life coach. Good morning, Miss Murray. Happy to have you with us this morning.
Good morning, and indeed, thanks for having me. And I'm happy to be here joining the Tobago population and the wider community.
No problem at all. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Okay, I'm Desiree Hackett-Murray, at least by name, and I'm a financial advisor and a certified life coach. I embrace every opportunity to build and increase the financial literacy landscape wherever that may lead me, because I see it as very critical and important in people being able to obtain that financial freedom, that financial independence. So that's in the context of me being a financial advisor as a certified life coach. I seek to empower individuals and bring out their potential, coaching them and working with them step by step to maximize their career potential. So that in a nutshell sums up Desiree Hackett-Murray in a professional capacity. Outside of that, in terms of hobbies, I enjoy a good level of exercise, love baking, reading, and meeting people.
We definitely have to have something to take us away from all of those stress that we have to undergo in life. Okay, so your
Indeed.
financial checkup, knowing your numbers. Tell us a little bit about that event. It would have occurred yesterday.
All right. So yesterday I met with the Association of Professional Engineers, the Tobago chapter, and we had quite an interesting and interactive session where I was able to walk them through the critical elements in financial planning. Their numbers, even as it was that financial checkup. Often we realize that even in our natural lives, whether we are willing to go to the doctor or not. Sometimes we are not feeling well, we are aware of all the symptoms, but fearful. It's a similar mindset, a similar approach we have with our finances. We tend not to step back and look at what our positions are. What we need to do when we are considering financial checkup, if at this very moment I should ask you or any of our listeners, what's your financial position? Do you know your income level? And by that, I'm not referring to the amount of money simply that you're working for. Do you have an idea of your debt, the total amount of debt, whether it's your hire purchase, your loan, the friend or the neighbor that you have borrowed from? What's your total debt? What about retirement? What is your retirement? Often we think of retirement in the context of our age, but do you know what is your retirement income? What amount you need to have or know so that when you retire, you can retire rich, which is retiring in comfort and happiness. Then there's the option of knowing your numbers. For especially our young listeners, you're interested in furthering your education or acquiring a particular skill. Do you know what those numbers look like to ensure you're able to get to your end objective? So these were some of the areas I was able to walk that group through and have them better positioned, because when you know these numbers, what it does for you that allow you to make informed choices. And it gives you a big picture in the context of your finances. And when you have that big picture, what it does for you, it guides your spending. It allows you to be able to step back and decide, if I should make this purchase, how would it impact my bigger goal? Because I know my retirement number. If I should make this particular spending or incur this additional debt, how would this impact my education plan? In knowing our numbers, I also seek to encourage them to have that umbrella. If four of us walk outside and it begins to rain, the two individuals who may have an umbrella will be well protected. The other two would need to run for shelter. And if they're in an open field, it means that they're going to get soaked. This is where I'm making the analogy to have what we call that fund, rainy day fund, emergency fund. Knowing your numbers would allow you to set aside that amount as well to keep you so that when it rains unexpectedly, when these life situation happens that we did not plan for, we will be well equipped and it would not throw us off our trajectory. It would not throw us off our track, and we would not need to dip into our retirement fund because of that emergency. We would
Okay.
not need to dip into the education because of that emergency. And I'm using those two because in knowing your numbers, they are critical figures that you want to have as a dashboard view readily at a finger's notice. You can say, yes, my total income, my disposable that I have to work with to help me achieve all these fancy things, all these well deserved things that I want. This is the basket of inflow that I'm working with. And knowing that when you are spending, whether it's the grocery, whether it's the new living room set or changing the curtains, Christmas is coming up, your numbers will say to you, do I need to make this purchase? Or I need to stay focused and ensure that plan, whether it's for your vacation, would not be offset because you make a spontaneous spending.
Okay, Miss Murray, and I believe that this entire financial thing, knowing your numbers, having that regular financial checkup, this is something that should be taught from a very early age. So I know that the event that you would have had was with the Professional Entrepreneurs Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Have you done anything with probably, persons in school, the younger persons, primary school, high school, because we know that these students usually get an allowance to go to school, some of them. So they have to learn to manage their spending, they have to learn to budget and that kind of thing. So tell us about that.
And how do you change the world really? Starting at that age. If we can catch them at preschool, if we can catch them at primary school, if we can catch them at secondary school, then we are well poised to have a more financially literate society and not only having the literacy, but now taking that to the next level of execution. We have seen many individuals of high income. They are aware of some of these information, but because it's not practice, it's not part of the everyday living, we still suffer financial challenges. We are still highly stressed because of debt. So I have done a few sessions with Gen Zs and millennials. I've done it in a workshop context where I actually walk them through doing preparing a budget, and so it's an area that needs a little more emphasis. I have been as well at some schools, PTA, speaking with parents of the importance of showing the children, modeling good financial planning, because you said it, we give them the allowance. But when we give them the allowance, we miss the educational aspect. And recently I shared with a group two things I would like to have the world know and practice. We want to pass on a legacy. And I challenge everyone listening to me this morning, two legacy to seek to pass on in this context of financial education. Afford your child or your children a sound education. And this does not necessarily mean academics. So let's get that. And financial literacy. Because when you have that skill base and that good education foundation, naturally, you're more inclined to attract a higher income. And then when you have that, what do you do with it? In order for it to be sustainable, in order for you to be able to pass it on in terms of wealth transfer intergenerationally, you need to understand financial literacy. You need to practice good financial management. So if every parent could see that as one of the main legacy that they want to pass on, not only could you say, okay, this is a rich family, but you take it now to a more sustainable level of building and sustaining wealth, because we know education is where the world gets changed.
And Ms. Hackett-Murray, if persons want to reach you to access your services, how can they do that?
All right. You can Google search. Thankfully, when you Google search, the first thing comes up in anyone's name. Once they have a LinkedIn account, you're definitely going to see them. So Google Desiree Hackett-Murray, and you'll see my LinkedIn connection. And directly, you can get me via mobile 688 3862. And in terms of the life coach, I'm working on my website. So soon come in a Tobago plan. Soon come our website, but 6883862. And as they say, let's connect on LinkedIn, follow me. And I tend to post frequently enough to increase financial literacy.
Great, and I'm sure that since you have shared your contact, persons may not only contact you for financial advice, but probably some of the young persons that we have out there who are into web design, you may receive a phone call for a little assistance. They may be able to assist you in creating your website. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Miss Desiree Hackett-Murray, Knowing Your Numbers Financial Checkup. Viewers, before we take
Thank
a
you
break,
so
we
much.
want to
Indeed, my pleasure.
no problem at all. We want to share with you this short flyer. Improve your comprehension and creative writing skills in record time. Prep 3s, 4s, and 5s, Sundays only. You get to choose your sessions, your session hours. It's a 3-hour session, and individual attention is going to be focused. Some of the things include qualified, trained, and experienced teachers, 36 years plus, teacher's diploma, child psychology diploma, BSc in education, reading and language major. They have an MED in reading and creative writing, psychology, SEA assistant examiner, creative writing comprehension, first choice teaching, and they have results in the top 100. This person also records excellent results all the time. The flyer is here on the screen for your convenience. Be sure to call 266-5952 or 222-2082 for further information, and be sure to ask for Ingrid. We're going to be back soon. We have more in store for you this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. So remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.